everyone. First of all, I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I am up to 90 subscribers. 10 more and I will reach my goal of 100. And I've been working on this YouTube channel for I think about 2 years. So that I know to, the big YouTubers out there that reaching 100 subscribers is no big deal. But to me, it is. So if any of you subscribers know anyone that would like to subscribe, please send them to my channel. What I'm going to do on this video is first kind of, give you guys an update on how I've been doing. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about service dog etiquette for, in regards to the public and what things are okay to do and what things are not okay to do, stuff like that. I haven't done a lot of videos on my service dog, but I think I will be starting to do more. I've never been one to kind of film while we're out in public, but I think it would be very educational for people to see what some of the struggles are when you have a service dog in public. But let's go back to what's been going on. There was a little period of time where it seemed like, I was able to get out a little bit easier. I was actually able to, kind of socialize a little bit. And I think that it lasted a couple weeks. And then, the past couple days, I really shut down. Last week was just a hard, personal week. There was stuff going on in my personal life that was strenuous. And it just kind of took, everything out of me. And it got to the point where, I didn't feel like getting out of bed, doing anything. I didn't leave the house, minus taking Paisley out for probably 4 or 5 days, which that's not good. And I've been really trying not to do that. And the other thing that I have been noticing, and this has probably been within maybe the past month, where my anxiety is getting to the point where, it's actually making me physically throw up. So I was able to talk to my psychiatrist about that, and we changed, some of the medicine, and, hopefully that's going to work. I will update you guys on that, whether it's a good med change or a bad med change. Okay. In regards to, well, first of all, because I haven't done too much on my channel in regards to my service dog, Paisley, who's asleep right now. I have a psychiatric service dog. The reasons why I have her is because I have, amongst other things, but I have generalized anxiety disorder and complex PTSD. The tasks that she performs are, she can alert me, when we're in public and I start to get anxious. If I'm standing, she'll kind of nudge on my leg, kind of scratch at my leg. If we're sitting, she'll, kind of put deep pressure therapy on me. If I fully have a panic attack to where, sometimes when they get really bad, I will kind of curl up into a ball and just kind of, cover my face. And she will every single time come right up to me and paw until, my hands go away. and she locks eyes with me until she can sense that I'm back and I'm breathing. Um, which is very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. Um, Another task that she was very good at doing, but when, we were under lockdown and we really weren't going anywhere, I didn't really have to use this. I didn't need this task as much. She was trained to be able to, let's say, we're in a store and I start to kind of, check out. She would be able to, if I said car, because I can feel it coming on sometimes. If I can say car, she knows to take me out of the store and she can remember where the car is. Same as if we're at home. Let's say I'm walking her and I start to feel like I'm going to check out. If I say home, that one she can still do. But I'm having a hard time retraining her on the car one, and I'm not sure why. But probably I need to be taking her out more and retraining her that task. In regards to when you see a service dog and their handler, they're a team. And one of the most offensive things, and I don't think personally that people mean to be offensive. I think they just don't understand. I have heard several times while I'm out with Paisley, people saying, well, I wish I could take my dog with me. Or how can I take my dog? Like, they'll ask me, how can I get it so I can take my dog out in public with me? To me, wishing to need any type of service animal, whether we're talking for mobility issues, blindness, psychiatric service dogs, any of that, you're basically wishing that you had that type of debilitating illness. And for me, and I believe for other people that need service animals, that is offensive. Okay, another thing that is not, it's never okay to distract a service dog in their vest or while they're working. They legally do not have to have a vest on them. The vest is more to let people know this animal is working. Do not pet, do not distract, nothing. If you see a service dog and their handler together out in public, don't acknowledge the dog, especially, this is also really irritating. People will come up to Paisley and just start talking to her and not even acknowledge me, like I'm not even there. Not only are you not supposed to be distracting my dog, but also I'm a human being. Like, acknowledge me. It's also very, very irritating. You don't understand when you have a service dog and you're out in public. You don't realize how many times just going into one store do you get asked, oh, can I pet her or him? You get asked all types of questions. Some people will even ask you why you need the dog. And, you have to let them know, no, you cannot pet her. No, you cannot give her a treat. No, please don't talk to her. She is working. And people can get very upset about that. And it's nothing, we're not doing it because we're trying to be rude. It's because if you're talking to our dog, if you're petting our dogs, then they're not working. They're distracted. Yes, they're well trained, but they're still dogs. They're going to get distracted. Also, there was an incident where my dad and I went to a restaurant, and this is just an overview of a bunch of stuff with service dogs. I know there are many more in-depth videos, and I would like to do a more in-depth video, but this again is just a quick overview of some examples. My dad and I went to a restaurant last week, and excuse me. It was a restaurant that I had never taken Paisley in, and as soon as my dad and I walk in there, mind you, Paisley's got a service vest on, everything. The hostess comes right at me and says, "You're going to have to sit outside with your dog." And I said, "No, I'm not. You're going to be sitting me in one of the booths. Not going to be sitting outside. She is a service animal. All you can ask me is she a service dog? And what task or tasks can she perform?" That is all that can be asked according to the ADA. They cannot request paperwork, anything. It's just those two questions. Well, then the hostess goes, "Well, I'm going to have to call my manager." And I said, "Okay, that's fine. I'll wait, gladly wait." And I told my dad if she came back and told me that the manager said the same thing, I was going to call the police because that is illegal. That's discrimination. Making me and my dad go sit outside because I have a service dog who is trained to act totally perfectly, almost as perfect as a dog can be in public, in restaurants. And the hostess, while she's got the manager on the phone, comes over and asks me, "Does she have her service vest on?" And my dad took that question and said, "Obviously she does. It's bright purple and it says service dog on it." And the hostess said, "Well, my manager said that's fine. She either needed her service vest or paperwork." And I said, "Well, you need to let your manager know that according to the ADA, you cannot ask me for any paperwork because no such paperwork actually exists." And again, legally, they do not have to wear service vests at all. And the woman did end up apologizing. She explained that they had never had a service animal in there. She didn't really know how to handle it. And I could tell her apology was genuine. But that's just one example of the many issues that I've had taking her in public. And what I have learned over the past probably 2 years of having her as a service dog is that you have to be assertive and you have to stand your ground and you have to know the laws by the ADA. Again, remember, stores, restaurants, any place, all they can ask you is the animal a service animal and what task or tasks does she perform? I believe the only two places where a service dog can be denied are like churches and synagogues, and then also like how when I had emergency gallbladder surgery, Paisley obviously wasn't allowed back there because it's a sterile environment. But other than that, she cannot be denied at all. Now, there are reasons to where, like, a place can make you leave with the service animal if that service animal is acting up in public, like barking at people, or if there's another service animal in there barking, and the handler's not getting the dog under control, they can be asked to leave. If the dog is like obviously not trained and like having accidents in the store, they can be asked to leave. But really those are the reason, is that they can be, that you could be kicked out for having a service dog. But if you have a legitimate service dog, your service dog wouldn't be having accidents in public, wouldn't be barking at people, shouldn't be barking at other animals. Now, again, service dogs are dogs. They're not 100% perfect. Paisley isn't always perfect in public. One time she did have an accident in the store, and I immediately went up to the manager, told her what happened, asked for paper towel. I cleaned that up. I have had one issue because Paisley and I had gone into a store, and there was an animal that I do not believe was a service animal. The handler, who was a male, because Paisley and I were in the line to get a money order, whereas the rest of the store was like for shopping. The dog and the handler kept circling around me several times, and each time the male owner was getting closer to me, and I started to get very, very nervous, like I was going to have a panic attack, and the dog got very, very close to me, and Paisley started barking. And since then, I've had one other issue, and I had never had any issues with her doing that in public, but I think because she could sense how scared I was, and that dog was getting way too close, she was trying to defend me. But since then, I had one other issue. There was a dog that looked similar to the dog that did that, and Paisley started growling, so I had to take control and make her listen, and that's something that I'm gonna have to work on. Again, I've only had that issue one other time, so hopefully she's broken of that. But that can happen when you have when you have animals that are posing as service animals. That's where it can really do damage to legitimate service animals, because again, I don't believe that owner and that dog were service animal. It was not a service dog team, and that dog getting that close, and Paisley trying to protect me. I mean, that dog could have came at her. So it's affected her, seeing another dog like that. But again, that's something that we're working on. I think that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up on this. Again, this was just like a brief overview. There's a lot more rules and regulations in regards to service dogs and, etiquette and tasks and stuff like that. But I hope you guys are all doing well, and please keep subscribing. Let's get this channel up to 100. All right. Bye.